How's it going? I thought I'd introduce myself. My name's Trent, and I kind of love Gabs, you know? And I moved out here a few years ago just looking to be left alone. So I have the utmost respect for what you do, and I honor what you stand for. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm here to help if you need any help. But I do have certain beliefs that prevent me from doing things that most people would think is conventional. And if we can come to some sort of an understanding, I'm more than willing to work with you however I can. So,
where do you live at?
I'm in this trailer up here at 107A.
Gators friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You sell drugs?
No.
You want to shoot me?
No way.
Care about kids?
I love kids. Yeah.
You hate your wife or anybody?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm working through some childhood trauma that I just discovered today that I'm dealing with. And I want to heal. So, yeah.
It serves me no purpose trying to go around and bust everyone for your registration.
Yeah.
You want to be a sovereign, that sort of stuff? That's on you. Obviously, if you have your beliefs for a reason, I can't change who you are. I don't want to change who you
I respect and honor that a lot, really.
are. I mean, we've got a bunch of people who don't want to register their cars here.
Yeah.
And the most I can say is, like, if you can carry insurance, I care about that.
Yeah. And being responsible.
Yeah.
I understand.
If you want to, I mean, I would like it if you carried somewhat of insurance.
Yeah.
But once again, that's on you.
Well, I appreciate, man. You're like an example of role model to me. So I appreciate what you stand for, like I said.
All right.
Thank you. And I hope we can work together doing things that are beneficial for the whole community as time goes on.
Are you anti-government?
No. I'm anti-government corruption.
Are you generally don't want to give your car registered because you think the money needs to go to the right places?
No, what my problem is, and you know, this is probably I'm just a product of my environment. When a long time ago I got a child support order, and they took away my license for child support obligation, and I took care of all that. I got it taken off my credit. It's gone, but I can operate machinery, right? I'm not saying I am qualified to operate a backhoe or something like that, but I am. I feel like I am able to move my body with a machine. You know, if I need to. I have some injuries in my legs and stuff, but the thing is, if I were able to get a license, I probably would. You know, because that would offer me some more freedom that I don't have. So I don't know. I'm just unable to, and I can't even get an identification card. So.
Why can't you get an ID card?
Because I can't prove my identity. I was born in Newport Beach, California.
Long Beach.
Yeah, but I can't prove that. You know what I mean? And I went to Orange County and got my birth certificate before, and it got stolen. My van got broken into, and everything got stolen out of there. And it's back then I actually had an ID card that I could use to get my birth certificate back then, but now I don't have. I can't prove who I am, and it's.
Have you called the Orange County Registrar's Office?
Yeah. I mean, not recently. I haven't really done anything since I got my birth certificate that I went and specifically went to California to get.
Yeah.
Got stolen, and
You can do it all by mail now too.
yeah.
I had to do it for my daughter. I'm from Orange County.
Yeah.
My daughter was born in Hogue.
Yeah.
So,
I was too.
yeah.
Overlooking the bay. Yeah, right there. Well, see, we have stuff in common too. So that, you know, I'm not trying to fight anybody. I I've had experiences in my life where I have had, you know, I feel like my rights have been violated, maybe, or something like that. But I don't see you doing something like that. So I don't know.
I told Willis, like, I'm not here to bust anybody.
Yeah.
Because if you don't start anything, there won't be nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be peaceful. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But at the same time, irresponsibility can't be allowed to run rampant. I get that too. Yeah.
I'm just generally curious if you guys don't have ID or anything like that, how are you guys how are you getting the stimulus money? Or
I don't get any benefits from government at all.
That's free money.
Yeah. Well, you know, nothing's free, and
There's such thing as a free lunch. That's true.
I see it the way that yeah, okay, if you take this money, maybe you're becoming dependent on something that you maybe don't want to. I don't know. I want to be independent.
It's not really free money. It's just an advance on your tax return.
Yeah. 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 Well,
So you travel back and forth and commute around? I haven't seen you up around there lately.
yeah, I went to Salt Lake for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Anyone hassle you with your plates coming back over?
no, I went with my sister. So I rode with her. She dropped me off when she was on her way to Colorado. So, yeah.
I mean, the most I can say is if you get insurance, that just helps everybody out.
Yeah.
I think insurance is a giant scam. Personally,
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
but it also, if something was to happen, it covers everybody.
Yeah. I understand that. Well, yeah, I get that. And that's why I try to be extra responsible. You'll never catch me brake checking somebody trying to get them to rear end me so I can make an insurance claim. And you also won't catch me you know, I get this a lot. People say, what do you do? What will you do if you kill somebody and their family out on the roads? And I say, I turn it back around and say, what will you do if that happens? Because the insurance can't pay out a certain, what amount of money can an insurance company pay out to resurrect a family? It's impossible. So individual responsibility goes way further than the insurance would. But I agree with you that some financial responsibility is appropriate, you know, because we can't rely on people to be responsible for themselves. You know, it's better to have something that kind of shows that they are. So I get that. So
I mean, too, it's like if someone is uninsured and hits you, this is your only means of transportation.
yeah.
You know, it's at least you have something to fall back on. But
Yeah. But if this breaks down, we're, you know, where we are, some kind of mode of transportation is really important to have out there. So I didn't know when I was going to meet you, but I'm glad I did, you know.
do you think you want it for anything?
No, I don't think so. You want to run me?
I can if you want.
We can check it out.
I see your name is Dead Bird.
It's James Goodbody,
Why did I call you Trent then?
because that's what I go by. My dad has the same name.
How do you spell your last name?
Goodbaudy.
G-O.
Odbaudy. Yeah.
Who did a birth?
3573. And that's not first-hand knowledge. That's just what I've been told.
Okay. Well, when I get around it, I'll check it.
Right on.
You seem like a decent person. I don't really care.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to be out here causing trouble. I like to think of myself as grown up and responsible. So, yeah. It's good to meet you, though, like I said. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. This video really, I think it was about first-hand experience. Oop, I'm in neutral. See, here I am cruising around. I just talked to the police, and he was cool with me. I got to get somewhere where I have good signal, though, because you guys are not going to be happy with my signal quality. Crappy, right? How was that? You guys. Oh, I just blew that. Was the quality on all right? Did it come in? I gotta get out here where I have better signal. So, yeah, I'm getting to a place where it's better. How was it when I was talking to the cop? That's what I want to know. Did it come in at all? All right, good. Righteous. You know, this guy was a good example. He's a stand-up cop. We want more like him, right? Wow. God sure works in mysterious ways. So, I was just talking about this video I was watching. It was just kind of strange to me because it was a video and this guy was like, it seemed like he was trying to spout off every kind of term he could to make himself sound smart. And while that sounds good and everything, it's not actual real practical experience, is it? So in case you didn't hear, I just interacted with the police here in town. And I have to say it's a good experience. Yeah, there was someone who suggested, I heard them suggest in a video that maybe if people didn't know enough law terms, they should hit the books. So I got this book here today I wanted to read out of. Did you pause it and see what it was right there? It's called Law and Business, Patterns and Issues in Commercial Law. And since I'm learning about patterns these days, as a matter of fact, today I actually realized what my traumatic injury was from when I was 6. Being able to see this is a really good thing. You know why? Because once you can see it, you can begin to heal. And I'm just so happy that I can start healing. So I wanted to, oh my goodness, these dogs. They're not going to be able to put up with me doing this for very long. So I'm going to try to make it quick. But I wanted to read to you a little bit about the growth of the administrative agency and its limitations on its power. If administrative action must be based upon enabling legislation, it follows that administrative action may in some instances be challenged on the ground that the action is not in the scope of enabling legislation. History of administrative agencies. Are you guys interested in this? Administrative agencies? It's just a book, so it's not like practical, real experience, but it can help with comprehension. Just as it is false, though widely believed, that business regulation is a new development, it is also false, as some believe, that administrative agencies are a product of the 20th century, or more specifically, of the 1930s. Administrative law is, in fact, probably the oldest form of law, undoubtedly antedating formal legislation. The King's Council of medieval England, for example, was a form of administrative agency. It derived its power from the king, and its functions were to take part in creating legislation, to supervise and enforce that legislation under the general guidance of the king. One difference between modern dictatorships and modern democracies would seem to be that the former govern almost entirely through administrative bodies, largely unchecked, whereas the latter rely on administrative bodies only when necessary and provide legislative and judicial checks on the power bestowed. At the present time in America, administrative agencies may be found at all levels of government, but no doubt the best known are those of our federal government. One set of agencies are the traditional departments of the president's cabinet: state, defense, treasury, justice, commerce, agriculture, labor, post office, health, education, and welfare, and interior. Some of these are as old as the federal government itself, and all are headed by an appointee directly responsible to the president. I'm going to stop right there and say, if someone's telling you to do stuff with Treasury direct accounts, 1099A forms, 1099C, or any kind of tax IRS stuff, you better watch your ass and you better know what you're doing. That's all I got to say about that. Their power is largely determined by Congress, in the sense that in most cases, the activities of the department are authorized by legislation, directing the department to undertake regulation or supervision of a certain area. Of course, the president often takes a strong hand in obtaining such legislation. The next major group of agencies are the independent regulatory agencies, the Interstate Commerce Commission, Federal Communication Commission, a Security Exchange Commission, National Labor Relations Board, Maritime Commission, and Civil Aviation Board, for example. That it's probably turned to the something else by now, but though there are many others, these vary in structure, some being headed by several commissioners, others headed by a single person. They are not directly responsible to the president and are at least supposed to be independent of both executive and legislature. Most of the heads are appointed by the president with the advice and consent of the Senate, and are often appointed for a fixed term. Of course, often their policies can be influenced by Congress or the president by, for example, cuts or threatened cuts in appropriations. State governments have sets of agencies somewhat comparable to the federal government. Often, however, a large number of department heads at the state level are elected directly by the electorate, which may mean your vote doesn't count. Power wielded by an administrative agency must be justified through some grant of power by the legislature. Possibly the simplest model for this process would consist of a simple legislative act that creates an agency, specifies the boundaries within which the agency is supposed to administer, and also specifies the general purpose of the rules the agency may set up to actually implement the legislation. Actually, of course, most of the federal agencies have been in existence for years, and recent legislation has usually extended or redefined the powers of particular agencies. For example, taxes and agricultural policy are revised most every year and result in minor shifts of in the operation of the Department of the Treasury and Agriculture, respectively. See, I'm sitting here trying to read, and I just had my first interaction with the town cop, and he just told me that he doesn't care what kind of plate I have. And that's really, my mind is racing right now because, wow. Does your cop do that in your town? That's why I think I need to get him a gift or something. Something. Anyway, I don't know if this is where I was at, but it was something about general purpose rules agency may set up to implement the legislation. Actually, of course, most federal agencies have been in existence for years, and recent legislation has usually extended or redefined the powers of particular agencies. What do you mean no video, Spencer? You didn't see the beginning of this video? I just talked to the cops in the beginning of this video. Rewind. Go look. I just talked to the cops, and here. You know what else I'll do? Just for the benefit of Spencer here, who wants to... Look at this. That's what the tag I was running when I just talked to him now. and it's on the beginning of the stream. So, so there's that. I think he was excited to be in my live stream. But yeah, back to delegation of authority, you know. I heard that catchphrase come up one time in somebody else's video earlier today that I watched. So, actually, of course, most of the federal agencies have been in existence for years. In recent legislation has usually extended or redefined the powers of particular agencies. For example, taxes and agricultural policy are revised almost every year and result in minor shifts in the operation of the departments of the Treasury and Agriculture, respectively. I didn't even have a seatbelt on. Holy cow. If administrative action must be based upon enabling legislation, it follows that administrative action may in some instances be challenged on the ground that the action is not within the scope of the enabling legislation. As a matter of fact, this type of challenge has been made. It has on some occasions even been successful. But it is clearly more difficult to succeed in such a challenge today than it was in the past. The increased difficulty lies both in the use of a more careful wording by Congress in its enabling legislation and in a more tolerant attitude of the courts toward delegation of legislative power. The objection to delegation of power from legislature to administrative agency has always been that a delegation violates the traditional concept of the division of powers between executive, legislative, judiciary, and there's another one, but I'm not going to say it, and it's not even in this book. In challenging the delegation of legislative power, we are concerned with the question of degree. How much power may be delegated? In earlier days, attempts were made to restrict delegation as narrowly as possible, perhaps to the point of only permitting certain specified acts to be delegated. Yeah, James. As the complexity of government has increased, the necessity of delegation has increased correspondingly. Due to the inability of Congress to deal effectively and in detail with more You got the book that I sent from the publisher? I hope that's what you're talking about. I'm like, woohoo! Hopefully that's what you're saying, that they got the book. Yeah, Matt. Right on. Hey, no problem. The degree to which legislative power may be delegated has more or less consistently increased with the passage of time. Since the early days of the Republic, and the end of the process is not necessarily in sight. Originally, a statutory standard by which administrative rules might be measured was required for delegation to be valid. This was broadened so that rules made consistent with the policies set out in an act are permissible. Considering that the only policy set out in some legislative grants is that regulation be imposed to further the public interest, it is doubtful whether even a policy in the usual sense of the term is required at the present time. Owing to the fact that today delegation may be very broad and that rules promulgated by the agency may likewise be very broad, the possibility of challenging administrative activity on the ground of its being outside the scope of the Enabling Act is naturally diminished. However, the fact remains that no agency is given a blank check to regulate everything in any way it would like. There are limitations upon the subject matter under any agency's jurisdiction, and no doubt an agency occasionally does exceed its intended powers. When this is the case, an act of an agency may still be voided by an appeal to the proper court. Okay, that's all I'm going to read today because it's just so exciting that I got to talk to the cop. And, wow, can you believe it? He said he'd like me to have insurance, but he's not going to bug me about it. He said that I told him I don't have a license. He saw the tags. There's a lot of us in town that run these private tags, and he does not like that. But he was cool. He remained cool. Holy cow! You guys, this is groundbreaking. I don't know if you understand, but it's like God himself came down and blessed us, touched us, and not in a funny way. Oh man. And I've never had a brighter outlook because I'm working on issues that they were a big deal when I was a kid, right? And yeah, I've suffered some serious trauma when I was a kid, but I look at what happened now and I'm an adult and I don't see things the same way. And things are going to be all right. Things are great. Things are going to be wonderful. Life is beautiful. Life is easy. Life is fun, And I just wanted to say thank you to all of you for sounds like I'm ending the stream, huh? The best is yet to come for sure. Right? Holy cow. Can you believe the cops man, I talked to the cops. I was beginning this live stream about book learning. I am gonna go because I gotta do something. This is pretty cool. All right, you guys. Thank you so much. Peace.